He is struggling. It's Thursday already. They're facing, Aaron Donald and this Rams defense with a limp like that. That's a big issue for the Baltimore Ravens. I know John Harbaugh says that he's hopeful. Yeah, he's hopeful. He wants Lamar Jackson there. But here we are late in the season, guys, and we've already seen that Tyler Huntley can run this offense. In fact, he does a really good job. He's got fresher legs. Take the injury out of the picture here. He's been on the bench most of this season here. So if he's able to go, he gives the Ravens just as good of a chance as Lamar Jackson would if he was 100% healthy.
Yeah, really? As he would if he was 100% healthy?
At this point in the season, yeah. He's had rest, right? Lamar Jackson relies almost solely on his legs. 90% of his ability is his mobility.
Right.
And Tyler Huntley's legs are just a little fresher, and he's done a really good job. Ask the Green Bay Packers.
Maybe a lot fresher when you look at that video. Damian Woody, I wonder if the Ravens, you think, have a shot to beat the Rams at all, whether Lamar can play or not.
Ryan, I think it's going to be really tough. We talk about momentum. Well, guess what? Rams have that. They've been playing some really good football, and I know Matthew Stafford is prone to having those type of plays that head scratchers. But when I think of the Rams, I think physicality on both sides of the line of scrimmage. This team is more physical now than they were in the earlier part of the season. I think of the pass rush. I think of Cooper Kupp, who's having a historic season at the wide receiver position. Odell Beckham Jr. has come over and played really well. Van Jefferson. They got a ton of playmakers on both sides of the ball. And you talk about the Baltimore Ravens, particularly in the defensive secondary, where they're they're literally down to like practice squad guys in the secondary. So I think it's just going to be really tough, whether it's Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley, to get a victory against this Los Angeles Rams team.
Yeah, Lewis, here's what I'm thinking of when I look at this. And by the way, I'm glad we have Tyler Huntley's stats there on the bottom. So take a look at those. Look at those stats. Those stats are great. And I'm not saying Huntley is a way better quarterback or anything like that, but you are looking at a Ravens team, Lewis, that needs Lamar Jackson to be at his best to go anywhere in the playoffs. I think we all kind of feel that way in a way. So why risk it? Or do you think they should risk it by even thinking about having him play this weekend's games, even though the stakes are very high?
Look, you're talking about one of the most dynamic players at that position that we've seen in the past 20 years. Okay, so look, as much as we all love the Tyler Huntley story, and as well as he has played given the circumstances, if Lamar Jackson can play, you got to play him. You just do, because of everything that he brings to the football field, running and throwing, and just from a leadership and intangible perspective, and how he affects everyone else from a confidence standpoint. And look, everything is just not a data point. Some things are things that you can't touch, you can't measure. And Lamar's presence is one of those things that you just can't measure in terms of what effect it has on the rest of the team and not just the offense. Okay, so, because remember this too. This isn't just about, well, if Tyler Huntley plays, does he give the Ravens a better chance to win? Well, Tyler Huntley is not covering anybody. That's for sure. Tyler Huntley is not tackling anybody on the defensive side. Tyler Huntley is not making any checks, not trying to calm down a secondary right now that is prone to giving up big plays over and over and over again. So I think, although the discussion surrounding him is a valid one, really what ails this football team is the fact that this defense cannot stop anyone. And the Rams, in no way, shape, or form, should lose this football game. Now, we know anything is possible in the NFL. We've seen that every week. We've seen teams lose that aren't supposed to lose. Let's just look at the Chargers and the Texans last week. But the Rams, there's no question they have no business losing this football game. And if they do, wow, they should win this game.
Yeah, It'll tell you a lot about a team that's looking to get the top seed or at least be in the conversation for getting to the Super Bowl.
I think it's interesting because Lewis is right in terms of what Lamar Jackson brings to this team. We've seen it every single week. I see it when Lamar's not even on the field, the impact he has on that sideline. But when you think about this offense as a whole, with mobility being the most important factor, him having a limp like that, in terms of actually doing the job at the quarterback position, it just makes it that much harder. So you have to wonder if they're looking at this as if Lamar Jackson is just, let's say, I hate to say it like a percentage limit, but let's say he's just 70% healthy and Tyler Huntley is 100%. That's got to be a really difficult challenge for them to say, who gives us the better shot, knowing all the things that Lamar Jackson brings.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.